So, unfortunately, the majority of my opponent's speech was flat out not responsive. My main argument is that yes, the majority of animal testing probably sucks, but the sector that deals with animal testing for the sake of developing medicine and technologies for the very animals it's testing on is ethically and pragmatically sound. Keep in mind, I'm not talking about animal testing to improve human health. Okay, he says the results aren't accurate. It's not translatable to the stage of human testing. Okay, that's irrelevant. And he makes an unwarranted claim that animal testing is not accurate for other animals. Okay, I'll actually have a warrant for you. Using pure logic, you can dismiss this claim. If your ultimate product is intended for a dog, which model organism do you think has most similar anatomy to a dog's? Another dog of the same species or a test tube? Okay, moving on. He says it's unethical to sentence animals to testing. On animal for animal testing is usually a lot more ethical. For example, the Morris Animal Foundation has done experimentation with animals. The results were intended to better the lives of animals of the own species. And studies include things like testing foods on parrots to reduce acute and chronic health problems. And right now they're studying thousands of golden retrievers and monitoring the development of cancer. This type of animal testing is generally a lot less invasive than other forms because the intentions are to help the animals. And this type of experimentation doesn't require the animals to be put down. So it's this mindset of helping the animals that makes it a lot more ethical than other forms. And this type of testing is more ethical than banning all animal testing because what's going to happen with animal disease? He thinks that testing on animals that is poorly translated to humans, but wouldn't testing on humans to treat animal diseases be also inaccurate? So by banning all animal testing, you're allowing animals to suffer and die because they can't get species-specific treatment. Testing on and for animals is much more ethical because it allows these treatments to develop so we don't ignore the needs of the animals. Okay. He also says that, oh, you can just work with the cells and the tissues of the animals. One, this is still animal testing because of the combination that is testing on an animal's body part and his failure to define what animal testing actually means. And two, I can't see how this would work in a complex system of tissues and vessels of the animal unless it's tried out on them. So this is most likely just preliminary testing and it wouldn't develop into anything. Okay. He also says that 92% of animal testing results in nothing. His source says 92% is unsafe or ineffective, meaning that the amount that's ineffective is probably about half that because it's made up of two things. So 46%, which is a completely different number. And unless the statistic is specific to testing on animals for animals, it's irrelevant. In the world of the NAIG, most of this testing would be gone anyway, so this is dramatically reduced. And he also says that 8% have a high fail rate in translation to humans or other animals. Okay, translation to humans, irrelevant, not what I'm talking about. And his source says nothing about how it's translated into other animals. It's purely about translation to humans, so these statistics are irrelevant. Okay. Towards the beginning of his own source, it says, when a dog with a life-threatening uterine infection was recently carried into my veterinary practice, I was confident we could save her. I had the luxury of knowing they, meaning the drugs, had been all tested on other animals of the same species and were unlikely to inadvertently cause any harm. So when his own source is advocating for my plan, you know it's pretty good. Okay, he also says that it costs a lot, but like I said in my last speech, cost shouldn't come into play when making ethical decisions because it steers us to make unethical choices, and he didn't really have a response for this, so you should just say that cost shouldn't come into it. And even if he's right and it does cost a lot, he didn't specify the amount that came from animal for animal on animal testing, but it's likely to be small because it's a small sector of the animal testing industry, and we can ban the rest of the animal testing sector, and it wouldn't be mutually exclusive with having this one, so we can reduce the cost in that way. Okay, on how the round should be evaluated. I proposed utilitarian framework and he didn't contest. So let's evaluate both worlds under this framework. In his world, the animals won't be tested on, but many won't be able to be treated for diseases because he says that cross-species applications on research is ineffective. Okay, and in my world, in the worst possible case, there are some animals treated on under poor conditions, even though they won't be, as I clarified in my analysis before on how it's a lot more ethical. But many animal lives will be improved. So because of this, I think I fit the framework better because more it does the most good for the most amount of living creatures. Thanks.